Namaste. This is Sheshachalam from Astrogate Mysore. Today, let us talk about moon's placement in the second house. This is a general placement I am telling. There is nothing related to the placement in Rashis, that is different signs. Now we are talking only about moon generally placed in the second house. The second house has many karakatvas, not like any other house in the horoscopy. The second house, the second bhava, has many karakatvas. The first major karakatva of the second house is family, kutumbasthana. People think that it is wealth. Now we have understood that people have very less family values and more value for wealth. So that is why what has happened is from the Kali Yuga point of view, that is from this particular era point of view, people only want first wealth. That is second house, which is dhanasthana. So okay, I will shift it now. Kutumbasthana. So that is second one. Number 3 is Vaksthana. Here, Vaksthana means it's about the voice quality. How sweet is your voice, or how much do you talk? This is the thing what we are talking here. This is nothing related to communication. The third house is for communication, that is transactional communication. Vyavaharika bhasha, that is we talk and then somebody reciprocates. So that is the third house. Second house is Vak. Vak means the same Voice in English. The C is K and Vak. Vak means voice. So how good is our voice? How is our vocal cords? Whether we stammer or not is to be seen here. The fourth and not much thought of but very important karakatva of the second house is Annasthana, food, what we eat. So, with all this, again there are two more very important faculties which we need to remember. There are many karakatvas of the second house. I am just giving you 5. The eyes and the teeth, they fall in the second house. Even the face, the expression. So I have earlier videos I have spoken about how the second house and the expressions really play an important role in in the formation of a person's identity in the society. Very important. If you keep giving out negative expressions on every situation, your identity will be again classed as negative, classified as negative. So, or classified as pessimistic, cynicistic. People will judge. People will judge and people will classify us depending on how we react to situations. Simply people don't do anything. If you don't react, then they will classify you as unemotional. That is that you don't have emotions. Today we are talking about the most strongest emotional planet, Moon. So when it sits in the second house, obviously the person will be rich because Moon signifies liquid cash, currency. That is the cash which can be counted, not that numbers in the bank. It is currency, that is which you can easily take and spend, not that property which is on land, which you can tell that I am living in a house which is crores of rupees, millions of dollars worth. It's of no use until you sell it and you get the money in your hand. You are simply using that property. So you cannot tell I am very rich. No, you are not rich. You are using that property. Next time, if you get back that money and again you want to stay in such a house, you'll have to spend it. So that means it is spent, the money which is already spent. So, wealth, yes, these people get a lot of money. They are very wealthy until unless Moon is weak. I am talking now, the first perspective is Moon is strong, well placed. They love to talk, they are very talkative and they are charming in personality, they get attracted to people, people get attracted to them. So it's a reciprocative thing. Their expressions are beautiful. They know how to express very well. Only when Moon is weak, like it gets debilitated or it is in the Navamsha or in the Rahu Ketu axis or with Saturn, then you can see a different type of expressions which actually is not that great in social circles. So they are very good with people and they always want to be with friends and they usually give a second place to the family when it comes to intermingling with people. My wife is sitting here, nodding her face. I have second moon. So, amongst friends, family, they always prefer friends, and I have written ignore spouse and children, but actually they don't ignore. They have in the back of their mind that, the importance for spouse and children. A lot of caring and affection is there still. I'm not becoming personal anyway. So, they are very healthy, they are extremely good with regard to their health, because there is one sentence, one should understand this. I'll explain it first in English and then I'll tell it in my native tongue, so that people of my zone area, people who talk my native tongue also can relate to it. So, one who knows to eat does not get diseases. So, this is a sentence, it's not a thumb rule of telling that he knows to eat, so he will never get diseases. I did not tell he will never get. So, in the native tongue is, in my Kannada native tongue, it is Uta Ballavarige or Uta Ballavanige, the one who knows to eat. Uta means food. Ballavanige means the one who is knowledgeable in his consuming food. Rogavilla, Uta Ballavanige, Rogavilla means he doesn't get diseases. It's a beautiful sentence to make us understand that Annasthana, that a person who respects food, because moon represents Tandula. Tandula Dhanya means rice. As Surya, that is sun, represented Goduma Dhanya, that is wheat. There are many other cereals and pulses which come under sun, but I can't list down everything now itself. In one particular class, let me do dietary systems for all the planets. That will be a fantastic class. I'll do it later on. But here, moon means all that is white. Moon represents milk products, most of the milk products, not all the milk products. It usually represents rice. So, Anna. Anna in a generalistic way means rice, but usually it means food. So, when moon becomes weak, you know, and it is in a tough position in the second house, and the second lord is badly posited. Let us take double negatives here, because this is a very tough thing which I am trying to tell. A person becomes, there is a vak dosha. Vak dosha in the sense that he doesn't talk bad. He can't talk properly. There is stammering. So, if Sun is weak along with Saturn, and the second lord is once again with Rahu, or is debilitated, clearly one can see that his speech will have abrupt blankness, there will be a lot of space, or he'll be very fast in speech where you cannot make sense of it. He will have some gibberish kind of a speech. He will think or she will think that they are talking normally, because for them that is normal. But normal is always the social standard. So they will not be able to meet the social standard. It's very difficult. They need therapy. So speech therapy is important. So people who have second moon which is well placed will have a fantastic appetite. They eat very well and they cannot be hungry. They cannot do all these traditional fastings. Fasting like Ekadashi in the Hindu fasting system. There are fasting observed in many other countries, in many other communities, which usually people with second house moon do not want to do. They always tell that I will do fasting after I eat. So, anyway, so people who have a weak moon in the second house lose appetite. This is actually going to cause difficulty in their health system in the long run, because moon also represents a very important part of our body, that is the fluids. All the fluids in our body, all the Golgi bodies in our body, the phlegmatic system of our body, that is the kapha. See, because the three humors, that is the pitta, vata and kapha, have to be in harmonious uniformity. And if any one of them starts dancing above normal, we will have disease. So if kapha also becomes too much, that is when moon is negatively posited in the second house, people might face breathing problem, sinusitis, because the moon is the face. So the face, you have the sinus here, you have the sinal cavities in two places here, then you have the nasal cavity, you have many other parts of the breathing apparatus within this particular part of the body. When I spoke to doctors, doctors always tell, 9 inches from the crown of the head till the neck, very dangerous, extremely sensitive. So all the 9 planets are situated here. So we should understand moon is playing a major part here because it actually is the fluid in the ear, in the brain, in the sinus. So you can understand so many complications. So if moon is weakly posited in the second house, then a person can go through multiple complications. The best thing for him is pranayama. Pranayama is the breathing technique in which you can regulate breathing voluntarily. Prana plus ayama, pranayama. So you should knowing how to breathe. So regulating your breath will give a lot of relief from all these problems like asthma. I'm not coming to asthma because it falls in the third house. I am coming only to this sinusitis, and problem of the migraine, problem of throbbing head, sight problems, so many problems because of moon. Moon is very important. So uh, people with a bad moon, once again in the second house, might have difficulties in losing the inherited property. So we should understand this one particular point, it's very important. And why is this? Because the second house is the opposite to the eighth house, and a negative moon in the second will become a maraka. Try to understand, maraka does not mean that he will always take away life of the native. No, that is one part of it. The second part of it, that every house, from every house, the seventh becomes its opposition. It tries to destabilize that house, pull it down and destroy it. So the eighth house represents parental property, acquiring parental property, inherited property, inheritance after the passing off of the parents. Coming through a big family, you need to get the division, you need to get a part of it. So if moon is badly placed in the second house, it becomes the seventh from the eighth. It's a maraka. It hits and hits badly. So there is difficulty in earning that particular part of your money. So regular earnings also will get a hit if it is very negatively posited, but that has to be once again checked with the dashamsha and the placement of moon in the second lord. But it becomes a little complicated. We'll go to that later on when I'm doing you know case studies. Yeah, thank you. So a normal unafflicted moon in the second house, which is not having too much strength or which is neutral, let us say it's medium placed, it's not weak. The person wants happiness, simplicity and harmony, peacefulness. He does not want to go to fight with anybody. He does not want to unnecessarily get involved in arguments, particularly debatable arguments. He always wants to, he shies away from them. He is a shy person. Why? Because moon represents Karkataka Rashi, that is Cancer, which is actually represented by a crab. We should understand all these representations are very important. A crab always moves sidewards, it doesn't go head on. The one which goes head on is the ram, that is the he sheep, the ram, which can go head on and even it doesn't even see where it's going to hit. It simply ram into the wall, into the person or anything, into the situation. That's the Mars. But moon is a very docile planet. Usually does not want argument. But do not underestimate this moon. If it is with a brilliant Mercury, let us say a negative retro Mercury, I will not call it a negative Mercury, these people know how to get their job done. So they might escape or they might avoid direct conflict, but beating around the bush, these people know the best. They get their job done by, putting pressure where it is required. If my husband doesn't agree directly from me, I know where his weakness is. He talks to his mom and is very close to his mom. I will get it done through his mom. So I'll become close to my mother-in-law to control my husband. You can understand. It's a female, so I just took a female's example. I did not take the male example here. I took the male example in the son's. When I did son, I took Rama. I took the businessman. I took the hard, industrialist who is very harsh and rough. That's a man. I took a man there. So here I am taking a female. Things she knows where to apply pressure and how to get the work done. So these people are once again very sweet speech, they are admired and poetical. So, an excellent placement for a person to become good in literature and very good to become singers, anything with the walk, the sweet speech. Even me talking to you people. Thank you very much.